Ever since Madness of the Dark Moon Fair, minisets had been a staple in the Hearthstone release schedule. Well, that was at least until this year, the year of the Scarab. When the first expansion of the year had finished, it wasn't given a miniset. Instead, Blizzard introduced a new concept, class sets. Class sets have more cards for each class, so there's room for things like unique archetypes, but only a small group of classes appear in the sets. Well, the second expansion of the year, Escape from Violet Hold, has just been released. So together with my buddy STARFAST, we've been trying to predict what this expansion's class sets might look like. Let's get started. The last class sets had cards for 4 classes, and Blizzard have said that this will be the case for each set, with the 12th class being for a repeat class, or perhaps it will be for a new class. Either way, we tried to picture what classes would most fit in the class sets for a prison expansion. And of course, the first class that comes to mind when you think Outlaw is Rogue. And who better to return to Rogue than Vanessa the Uncrowned? Vanessa is the foundation of a new, unique Thief Battlecry deck for Rogue imagined by STARFAST. Vanessa will cause your battlecries from other classes to trigger twice this game. The last class sets were mostly support for core identities in each class, like Animal Companions and Silver Hand, so we theorized that Rogue will see the return of Thief Rogue, possibly with a little extra spin. Another class we might see in the class sets is Warrior. Warriors are associated with fighting and violence, and could easily see their way into the Violet Hold. We imagine that Warrior will also see the return of a core identity, Control Warrior. So STARFAST came up with a series of cards and characters we might see for such a direction. Like a classic Hearthstone criminal, Hancho, who might even have an effect that calls back his old ability. In this case, STARFAST designed a card that buffs your deck. It's also very plausible that Death Knight, another villainous class, would get cards in this class set. I pictured a return to a core identity for Death Knight as well, with this legendary that supports your corpse spending. But not all classes got support for a core identity in the last class set. Mage got an entirely new archetype, Leyline Mage, and we figured Blizzard might use a similar approach for some of the other classes. In the class sets for a prison expansion, it would of course also make sense to include a certain guy who was
imprisoned for 10,000 years.
I imagined Demon Hunter would get a new archetype based around their history with imprisonment, Dormant Demon Hunter. This is not an entirely new idea, but we've never seen a full set support the archetype. My take on Demon Hunter has many cards that reduce the number of turns your minions are dormant, as well as dormant minions. Dormant minions like this legendary are made, Magtheridon Incarcerated. This new take on Magtheridon is dormant for 5 turns, but causes some real damage when he awakens. There's also a chance some of the classes will have some more far out archetypes. While we've already shown 4 classes, we think there's also a chance one of them will be Warlock, so STARFAST designed the return of an old beloved archetype, Barrels of Sludge, with this legendary for Warlock. Chances are somewhat low that we see this archetype again, but that makes this prediction even more exciting if it turns out to be true. Beyond that, we also think it's very likely that we'll see some more prepare cards. Here are some ideas for what they could look like. Some prepare cards could even introduce a spin on the mechanic, like this one that reduces dormant time instead of cost, or this one that costs corpses to prepare. While we didn't see one in the last class sets, it's also very possible we might see a series of overlapping card designs throughout the classes. STARFAST came up with an idea for this series of spells called plants that improve when traded. So there you have it, our predictions for the Escape from Violet Hold class sets. We think the classes will be between these 5 with many core and new identities. So what do you think? You think any of this will come to pass? Let us know in the comments. A huge thanks to STARFAST for all his work on the cards, and thanks to you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.